Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofict one, AJ. Happy Friday, January 30th, 2026. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great week and ready for a great weekend. I know I am. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot of movement going on in the NFL world. Head coaches getting hired, GMs getting fired pretty late in the cycle. We'll get to all of that, along with some salary cap stuff, Hall of Fame stuff, and we might even dive into some golf, golf, NBA, NHL, even the Olympics. We'll see where the day takes us. But before I go any further, do just want to take a moment. Shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and TikTok. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But let's not waste any time, as it was announced earlier today by every and all of the insiders that the Vikings have gone ahead and fired GM. I'm going to try it this time. I've not gotten it right once today, but we're going to go ahead and try again. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, per sources. Vikings going into the draft essentially without a GM. And I know it's early to be talking about going into the draft like this, but it does seem like from the talk that's been going on, coming out of the Vikings camp and coming from the insiders, that this process of finding a GM for the Vikings is going to be taking a little bit longer than the draft. And it will more than likely be an after-draft decision. Everyone focusing on the draft right now, and then we'll get the right guy in place as GM. And I'll be honest, I love this move for the Vikings. And I'm not a Vikings fan whatsoever. As a Bears fan, I hate the Vikings. But they're purple for a reason. Anyway, I do like the move for the Vikings. I do. I think this guy has been kind of a bum for the last pretty much since he took over. You know what I mean? Yeah, Justin Jefferson's there. Yeah, you got the Addison deal done. But then you start looking at the last couple of years, and let's go back about 3 years on this one. And that's really when we started seeing the mass exodus of veterans coming from the Vikings, and the Vikings trying to get very young very quickly, getting rid of guys like Adam Thielen, not wanting to re-sign guys, letting people walk. The whole Kirk Cousins situation, not re-signing Kirk Cousins, opting for J.J. McCarthy and Sam Darnold. Now, granted, the whole Sam Darnold thing goes great. They just let him walk. You know, they offer him a low deal and he walks, and now look at him. Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl, and the Vikings could have had him on the roster at least. Now, did they want to go with JJ? Absolutely. And is that a GM decision? Is that a head coaching decision? I think that's a little bit TBD. The pencil is probably in O'Connell's hand. But at the end of the day, you know, if the GM ships out everyone else and doesn't re-sign anyone, you're kind of stuck with what you're stuck with. And I think that's definitely where the frustration's coming for here. You know, the Vikings had a great season last year, making the playoffs, making a deep run in the playoffs. Sam Darnold does come back and see ghosts, and it happens. But at the end of the day, it's the decisions of the GM that set them up like this. And yeah, I'm glad he's gone for the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to be better for it. Now, this leaves a lot of things very interesting, because I think we need to see a lot more out of J.J. McCarthy before we determine he's a bust, before we determine if he is the next guy to be in Minnesota. However, I think we've seen a lot. And I don't know if I think Kevin O'Connell's a great coach. I think Kevin O'Connell likes the idea of J.J. McCarthy and what he can be. And he definitely has that, what's the word I'm looking for? Panache? Am I using that properly? To develop into that type of a quarterback. And I can see him becoming, that guy for him. But with the pieces that are in place right now, Jefferson being very upfront, like, hey, I don't want to be catching balls from a 4th round rookie and shit like that. He wanted a real quarterback. I hate to say that about JJ, but he wanted a quarterback, like a Kirk Cousins type, if you will. Cinema Toast Crunch was good, brother. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, of course I remember you. Hope you're having a great week, brother. But at the end of the day, good stuff for the Vikings. I do think the Vikings are going to have an issue going into this offseason. I'm not going to be shocked if we see Jefferson on the trading block, or even, requesting a trade. And having a new GM come in there, especially considering they're already so young, I don't know if they're going to want to go out and get another quarterback coming into the offseason. Kirk Cousins is available, though. He does get released by the Falcons, so that is, I think, something to keep an eye on. If not him, I do think that the Cardinals would reach out. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Cardinals and the Vikings are probably my next two spots there. Cowboys GM needs to step down next, and Giants GM. The Giants GM should have been fired a long time ago. Cowboys GM and owner, for that matter, ain't stepping down until he's in 6 feet under. That's for damn sure. Oh, yeah, Jefferson. Yeah, the Jefferson rumors are going to be the main stuff. And if Jefferson's gone, I wouldn't be surprised if Addison tries to pull something as well, which sucks. The Vikings do have a solid core on offense, and they obviously love Kevin O'Connell and the scheme that they're in and everything like that. But you can't get it to work at quarterback because of incompetent GM. It sucks to suck, and that's kind of where we're at right now with the Vikings. Again, forward progress, great move from the Vikings overall. Absolutely love it. No big ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah, Addison's gone. Where's he going to go, though? Here's my thing. Okay, I think Addison will go to. I think Addison will go to the Chiefs. I think he'll go to the Chiefs, regardless of Patrick Mahomes' injury status, and knowing Patrick Mahomes, all the money he has and everything, he is going to, do some LeBron James type recovery. You know what I mean, brother? Go over there to Germany or wherever you get down, get a couple needles put in you, don't ask questions, and just get her done. I think that's going to say. I think Mahomes is going to be fine for, if not the first week of the season, after the first month of the season. I could see Mahomes coming back with just the kind of athlete he is. Considering he doesn't get injured that much, he'll be full on the rehab. But now how he plays and everything, that's a whole other conversation. But for selling a guy on a team who wants to get traded, Patrick Mahomes going to be good. I think Patrick Mahomes is a great selling point. Go to Kansas City. You're bringing Bieniemy back, and Travis Kelce has already said he's going to be back. Whether that's good or bad, it doesn't really matter in my opinion. I mean, it seemed like they were getting ready to shift away from Kelce already, and I think we'll start to see that a little bit more next year when it comes to snaps and everything like that. But I think Addison's probably going to. Jefferson's probably going to the Chiefs. Addison. If Jefferson doesn't, Addison will. One of them's ending up on the Chiefs. The Chiefs need some firepower there on offense at the receiver position, because they've been playing with a bunch of nobodies. And no disrespect to the guys, they catch better footballs than I ever could in my life. You know what I mean, though? Like they're playing with a bunch of number 2, number 3, number 4 receivers, and they don't have a number 1 receiver out there. They need a Jefferson type to come out there and secure it. Kelce replacement in the draft. I don't hate that. I mean, they got to know that Travis Kelce's on the outside, towards the end of his career. The gas is running low. And, bro, he's getting married this year to a billionaire. Like, my wife wins the lottery tomorrow. I don't know, man. I'm not going to work the next day. You know what I mean, bro? Like, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing for the next 50 years of my life. But kind of like the big talk in the UFC right now, Conor McGregor, him coming back to fight and everything like that. And yeah, I think they'll get something worked out there. But we've seen Conor fight since he has had all the mainstream success, and now Kelce kind of in that similar area where it's hard to get up from those silk satin sheets or whatever the hell they are and go get punched in the face all day. And that's what both Travis Kelce and Conor McGregor is doing. Now, Conor McGregor might be coming back, might not be. From what I'm hearing, I don't think he'll be on the White House card. If he is on the White House card, I think he'll face Justin Gaethje, and I do think it'll be at 170. That's a whole other conversation for later, though. But yeah, I could see Kelce stepping away. All right, do I get to talk about the fun thing next? No, this is the fun thing. Let's talk about this bullshit, huh? Like, I've stopped. What's the word I'm looking for? I've stopped expecting a lot out of people. And what do I mean? Okay, let me rephrase that. I've stopped expecting people to use their brains and to think rationally, to think logically. Thrilled Panthers fan, thank you for the follow. And you got a lot of things to be thrilled for too, brother. You've got a lot of things to be thrilled about as a Panthers fan. Shout out to University of Arizona guy, T-Mac. I'm a Vikings fan, and I'm not surprised. Zara, are you happy about it? Before I move on, Zara, are you happy about it? Because I'm stoked for you guys that you got rid of this bum. I'm stoked for you guys. He hasn't really made a lot of good decisions for you. I think letting Cousins walk and then the next year letting Darnold walk, that's a rough look, bro. That's a rough look. I'm just excited. I bet you have, brother. I bet you, dude, you deserve it. You deserve it. And I'm hoping that is going to be coming my way as a Cardinals fan one day. Do I think it's going to be this year, next year, anything like that? No, I don't. No, not at all. The Cardinals. I'll talk about them for a hot sec. We're between Clint Kubiak, maybe, if he's even thinking about us, and Matt LaFleur's little brother or big brother, or it doesn't matter. Matt LaFleur's brother. That one going on. I get it, Zare. I get it, bro. That sucks. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, and then the Cardinals are fucked though. Cardinals are fucked for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Hey, brother, have a good one, man. I'll be here. Don't you worry about it. But anyway, Vikings, great move overall. Great stuff. So glad they left. So glad he's gone for them. All right. I want this shit live streamed. I want these conversations live streamed because it is an absolute joke that we live in the year 2026 and we let a bunch of what's the word I'm looking for? Let's just call them dumbasses. You let a bunch of dumbasses in a room with their own agendas and everything like that under a secret vote on who gets to be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm not going to get into credentials and the records and the history because we all know what Bill Belichick has done. Most of us have been alive during the dominance of the Patriots, the dominance of Bill Belichick, the dominance of Tom Brady, and what that era was of football. You know what I mean? And it was an incredible era. You had so many great quarterbacks, so many great teams, left, right, and center, but they were all vying for one thing and one thing only. And that was knocking off Bill Belichick, and that was knocking off the New England Patriots. Spygate, Deflategate. I get it, bro. I get it. I get it. There's scandals. I think you should take away, I think Deflategate, but like, okay, here's the thing, brother. Streaming the Knicks game tonight. Dude, have a great stream, brother. Self-made Jonathan. Have a great stream, bro. I'll come check you in. I'll come check in, see how the Knicks are doing. Knicks might be getting Giannis. You stoked on that? He ain't going to New York, though. He ain't going to New York. I don't think Giannis is going to New York. I'll be honest with you, bro. But go Knicks. How does Bill Belichick not a first ballot Hall of Famer? And then the next question comes, how is Bill Belichick not a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer? And then the next question comes, how was there even a conversation about if Bill Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame? How do you sit there at a Hall of Fame meeting and you're like, bro, no, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's just not it, you know? Yeah, 8 Super Bowls, you know? Yeah, 6 as a head coach, 2 with the Giants. Yeah, you know, I get it, but Deflategate, you know? Deflategate. They tested the balls. They tested the balls, and the balls, they weighed different. It wasn't the recommended PSI. Didn't matter about temperature or anything like that. Okay, let's take basic, middle school chemistry, physics, or science out of it. I don't give a shit. Fine. Let's talk about Spygate. It's the same bullshit as Michigan, in my opinion. It's the same bullshit, different flavor. And I think that the sanctions on Michigan were a little heavy and bullshit. I think that the stuff that came out with New England was bullshit. Because everyone was doing it. They were just the only ones that got caught. And yeah, maybe you want to go ahead and slap the hand a little bit, but why? Why? And, Zach, Robert Kraft behind this, I would buy it. I would believe if Bill Polian's behind it. I would believe if, I don't even know, anyone else is behind it. But it was very clear. There were people in that group that had an agenda to keep Bill Belichick out of the Hall of Fame for the first year. To do what? To do what? To just discredit what the Pro Football Hall of Fame is? Zach, thank you for the follow, brother. Appreciate you. Like, is that just to flex your muscle a little bit? Like, yeah, Bill, you might have all those rings, brother, but you're not in the Hall. Like, dude, is that where we're at? Excuse me. But, like, grow up. Wait a year as penance for Spygate. Wait a year as penance for whatever. Deflategate. A bunch of bullshit stuff that just came out because no one could beat them. And they had to be cheating. And they were grasping at straws, bro. Just grasping at straws, trying to find something to pin on Bill, pin on Tom, pin on Robert. And, Zach, I know I wouldn't be surprised if Robert Kraft was behind it. But at the end of the day, the Hall of Fame and what the Hall of Fame should be about and has been about is prestige and is your numbers and is your records. Okay. And they think having Bill Belichick as a first ballot Hall of Famer would ruin that. I believe if we check the archives, O.J. Simpson's bust is still there. Oh, but he was acquitted by a jury of his. He fucking did it. Okay, let's all be adults here for a minute. Okay. And so what? Okay, and then let's play this out a little bit more. Tom Brady's not going to be first ballot. Tom Brady, the GOAT, the guy getting paid $10 million a year by, or whatever the money is, by Fox to go talk about games and do nothing else. The guy who has to have two hands for his rings, all 7 of them, that no other quarterback will probably get to ever again. No player. And we're just going to go ahead. What? Because of Spygate and because of that? Dude, let's be real. That's not happening. That's not happening anytime soon. Tom Brady's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, there might be one Colts fan in there that disagrees with that statement. But let's be real. And then what? Really? Like, okay, so let's play this out even further then. Patrick Mahomes comes up. Oh, well, the first couple of years in KC, his wife and his brother were assholes to everybody. So we got to teach him a lesson now. And his father, got a bunch of DUI. Like, really? Is that what we're, if that's what a game we're playing, like, please, then let's dig into everybody, because there ain't nobody from the 80s and the Cowboys that should be on that with all the illegal shit they were doing. And I'm not talking I'm talking about all the blow and everything. Like, they literally have a documentary about, the house and everything. Like, come on, bro. Like, 90s, excuse me. I'm sorry. It's 80s too. Come on. They could do blow in the 80s. But my point being, like, it's just, it's so stupid. It's so childish. It's such a joke. It's such a joke of just grown-ups being just absolute babies. And there's nothing else about that. And I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. It's a Hall of Fame, and like, there's sports writers and voters from, every region, every team, and everything like that. And you're supposed to be vouching for your guy. But at the end of the day, how do you not look at resumes and be like, yeah, no, we got to push this guy right along? And then the other people that came out that said, oh, well, I didn't vote for him because I thought so, and he was just going to get in regardless. So I voted for this other guy because it was his last chance to get in. And that's another thing about that. Who was I? Florio. Florio was talking about it. Florio was talking about how, the Hall of Fame right now is just broken. How long it takes for you to get in, how many, opportunities you get and everything. Like, it's broken, and so you got to go with those guys that, it is their last time, so we got to keep it moving and everything like that. But I don't know. There should be so many more people in here. Oh, thank you, Zach. I really appreciate you, brother. I really appreciate you, dog. But yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. I don't get why they're doing this, and I don't think they're going to come out and retroactively put him in after the votes or anything. I know and that was the funniest part of this whole thing. I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around here now, but that was the funniest part of the whole thing, was the Pro Football Hall of Fame coming out with a statement. And I thought, okay, they're coming out with a statement. They recounted, they found other votes or whatever the hell else it is, and it is coming out that Bill Belichick will be into the Hall of Fame. Instead, it was, no, we're going to investigate because you all are breaking so many bylaws. How is any of this out yet that Belichick's not in? And so, hey, I get it. Keep your ducks in a row and everything like that. But it's wild, and just, it's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary. It's a joke, and it looks bad on the league. It looks bad on the league. But then the league comes out and announces this other stuff, because I love what the NFL does with how they release news and everything like this, especially when it's from them. Like, I am sure they wanted to leak that Belichick stuff out there just to kind of soften the blow and not make it the main story of Super Bowl weekend next weekend. When NFL honors on next Thursday, they go ahead and drop this news a week early so that everyone gets it out of their systems. They talk about it one more time on Thursday, and then it's just Super Bowl. And then it's just Seahawks Patriots. And I'm sure during the broadcast they'll talk about it because it is the Patriots. But still, releasing this news early, let's get ahead of this. And then on Friday, let's go ahead and also leak about the salary cap. Bro, Bro, I knew the NFL was making stupid money hand over fist and everything like that, but NFL has informed clubs today it is projecting a 2026 salary cap in the range of $301.2 million to $305.7 million per club per sources. That would represent another significant jump from this year's $279 million salary cap. $279 million. And I mean, and it's been for the last 3-4 years, it's just been going up and to the right. The salary cap, all the numbers for the NFL, everything has just been up, up, and up. And it shouldn't shock anyone, you know what I mean? Like live sports in general, really the only thing you keep a YouTube TV for, a cable for, or anything like that, so you can get the sports, or you have a streaming platform for the live sports. But live sports do numbers. Live sports are the only reason people sit through fucking commercials anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's about. And so all that revenue coming in, I'm glad, you know what I mean? And it's great for the players. Obviously players going to be getting more getting more money in the long run. And it's going to help out a lot of teams right now, you know, that are in trouble. And then this is going to give them a little bit of relief. They don't have to cut as many guys. They don't have to restructure as many contracts, et cetera, et cetera. The only downside I see of this is, what is Patrick Mahomes' contract going to look like when he's up? You know, those 10 years are coming up pretty soon. That contract, it's going to be a $400 million salary cap by that point. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Pat. Here's $100 million a year. I mean, seriously, like we're getting to that point to where quarterback. Yeah, thank you, Zach. Yeah, quarterback contracts are about to be so dumb. And I really want especially if this does, you know, the salary cap continues, I want a Josh Allen type. I want a Joe Burrow type, to test the market. Like, let's see these billionaires that want to win a Super Bowl get into a pissing contest with how big these contracts can get to. That's what I want. That would be a hell of an off season, just hearing these dumb numbers go back and forth for these quarterbacks. Well, you know, the Ravens came in at $500 million, but then the Bills came back in at $650 million. So we're waiting to see if the Florida Panthers are going to come in at $700, and it's going to be dumb, dude. It's going to be so dumb for what the quarterbacks are making, top end wide receivers, top end running backs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It really will be unbelievable, like what we see. And I think, you know, this is what works with the NFL. You know what I mean? Like the way they have their salary cap structured is so much better than any other league right now. And I'll give the NHL credit. I'll give the NHL. NHL's got their shit going. Dodgers. Yeah, contract's so big, Dodgers might be getting into the bidding. Well, hey, that Kyler Murray contract's pretty expensive. I don't think the A's own his rights anymore either, so they can go ahead and pick that up if they would like to. I'd love that. But yeah, these contracts are about to be dumb. I think as this goes, it's going to, you know, kind of, you know, push along like, hey, let me go ahead and test the trade market. You know, these high-end quarterbacks, let me go ahead and test the trade market. I'm Josh Allen. Maybe I don't want to live in Buffalo anymore. I got a hot wife now. She really likes Florida. She really likes California. What are the Niners up to? What are any of the LA teams up to? You know, it's going to be very interesting to see what this does to the player mindset. But teams should be ecstatic. All right, let's get into the head coaching carousel, OC carousel. Bills promoting OC Joe Brady to head coach after an interesting interview process. Let's go ahead and say that. Philip Rivers getting a crack at it. Because why not, Phil? Why not just stick around in the NFL, making shit ton more money and just keep doing it? And I think that one day maybe he will be a guy that will go ahead and do it. But as a Lions fan, should I be worried about our new OC? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll talk Bills in a second. Zach, let me talk to you, brother, because I am one of the poor saps that sat through every single quarter of Arizona Cardinals football this season, because I am a fan of the Cardinals. Drew Petzing, his play call style, his scheming and everything. How can I describe it? I don't have a kid yet, but I'm sure if I put a pencil in front of my kid, he can scheme something up a little bit better to get Kyler Murray loose. You know what I mean? And use a running quarterback fine. And I will say, I think that his his schemes and his playbook worked a lot better with Jacoby Brissett, who's more of a pocket passing quarterback, a lot like Jared Goff. And so I do see potential for him to go there and have a little bit of success and not fuck everything up because he is an actual quarterback and not Kyler Murray. But listen, bro, it wasn't a good time. I'm going to be honest with you. It was not a good time at all. You will definitely be scratching your head a little bit on some fourth down calls, and third down calls, and second down play calls. First down play calls, yeah, you're probably going to be questioning those two every once in a while. Sometimes if you're a bad, you have a history of being a bad team and you have a little bit of success, you got to go back to what you know. And that's not a direct shot at the Lions, but I mean, out of all the people available, that's the bum you go with. Yeah. Rough day, brother. It's a rough day up there in Detroit. I'm going to tell you that. Hoping he can get the running game going. Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice. I almost forgot about that 22 season. He did get the run game going in that year. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like Cardinals were just very injured this year. And so like James Conner going down didn't help, and Kyler, and then yada, yada, yada. But again, they were trying to play Kyler like Lamar, and Kyler's not Lamar because he's about 2 feet shorter. And you got to play, Kyler needs to be in a RPO style system. I hate to say it. He can't sit in the pocket and throw a ball. Even in play action, it's a rough watch. And it's nothing against Kyler. Kyler's an incredible athlete. He was an incredible quarterback in college, and you see moments where he's an incredible quarterback in the NFL. But, bruh, some people, God blesses some people with the height and some people not. I ain't one of them blessed with the height. Let me tell you that much right now. And there's a reason I'm not starting quarterback on any team, and why I, stopped playing football in high school. I wasn't tall enough. Everyone around me was 6'3", 6'4". I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a good day. It's just the math doesn't math. And so anyway, good luck with Petzing though, Zach. Good luck with him, brother. Bill's promoting OC. It's a fine move. It's still a very much staying the same. Would like to see a different move at GM for the Bills. This team's just been very stagnant, and I know that they had some success with not having a number one wide receiver or anything like that, but this kind of mosh posh that they have right now, it's not really gelling, it's not really working. And Josh Allen has to be Superman every day he goes out there to try to win y'all a football game. And that's going to lead to a, God, I can't remember his name now. Andrew Luck situation. Thank you, AJ. There we go. But yeah, it's going to lead to an Andrew Luck type situation where, he puts his body on the line every single time, and it's no good results at the end of the day. It gets tiring. It gets old. So we'll see what happens with Joe Brady. We'll see who they bring in as offensive coordinator. And I want to see if Joe Brady will still be calling plays. If he's not calling plays, all right, let's see what this new scheme and everything can do. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, this one was interesting to me. I will say this one was interesting to me. Steelers hiring Mike McCarthy as their new head coach. I believe only their 4th head coach since whenever. I mean, unbelievable run the Steelers have had at hiring head coaches, and this is fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know what I mean? Obviously, all the success at the Packers. Say what you want about his time with the Cowboys, but I mean, that was some of the best the Cowboys have looked in a long time, and they've kind of been floundering ever since. I mean, Mike McCarthy is a hell of a head coach, knows how to develop players, knows how to get the team motivated, knows how to be the buzzword of the NFL this offseason, the CEO head coach and everything. My God. Every offseason, it's something. Like there's some big buzzword that they're going with GM hires, head coaching hires, or, trades or whatever, free agent signings. But the big one this year is you want to get that CEO type head coach, Colin. That's the kind of guy that you want in there, just running the whole thing. Okay. And yes, obviously that's the kind of guy you want in there, but we get it, guys. We get it. But no, Mike McCarthy is going to be solid. My obvious first thought was, okay, Aaron Rodgers is staying another season. He went to the Steelers in part because he respects Tomlin. He respects the tradition of Pittsburgh, kind of like it was in Green Bay and everything, and wanted to work with Mike Tomlin. You go ahead and bring his old buddy back in, Mike McCarthy, who he won a Super Bowl with. Reportedly, no bad blood between the two or anything like that when he was ousted. I think I said this even at the end of at the end of the season before Tomlin was fired. I think he comes back. That was the best we have seen him play since before his Achilles. Like, this season was the best season Rodgers has put up since his Achilles injury. And I think you give him another offseason, you get a couple more weapons around him, a young weapon around, another young wide receiver. That's what you want. Another young wide receiver, whether you get that and through the draft or free agency, you let Rodgers just cook, and get that run game going. That defense is going to be stiff with Mike McCarthy. I like it a lot, man. I like it a lot. Now, do I think the Steelers are automatically going to get out of this 9-8 hump and everything? No. Do I think maybe a couple more years that? Yeah. But I think they will be in a different place than with Tomlin. You know what I mean? And Tomlin, again, hell of a head coach. We'll see what they do in the offseason, but they need to make one splashy move. They need something to complement DK Metcalf. I just don't think they have enough on him right now. But anyway. Browns hiring offensive coordinator Todd Monken as their head coach. Monken, one of those names that's been thrown around the head coaching carousel for years now, not only in the NFL, but also in college football, now getting a shake as the Browns head coach. He will be, there with Lamar and everything like that. Came out there, said, I want to make a bond with Lamar. I want to be with Lamar. I want Lamar to know I'm here for him and everything. We'll see. We'll see what the Browns do. I mean, he does have a Pro Bowl quarterback in Shedeur Sanders on the team, so that's a plus, right? I don't know, man. We'll see what he can do as a leader. We'll see what they do in the offseason. The Browns have so many issues across the board. It's wild, man. It's wild. Like, it's a head coaching hire is not going to solve that. Just not going to do it. And checking the time. That is all I've got today. I've got to hop off. Got to get some stuff done before I can kick back, have a beer, and watch some college. Well, I'm having a beer now, but before I get the basketball get started. But hey, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone here on Rumble, over on YouTube, TikTok. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help out a lot more than you know. But with all that being said, I, of course, have been the Brofict one, AJ. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck. God bless. I'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.